right, guys. I'm here with Hilly Burton and Molly Brown. Thank you guys for being here. We're talking about Bloody Axe Wound. Um, to start things off, can you talk to us a bit about the movie, how you guys got to be involved with this project?
Sure. Yeah, I had watched a film with my husband during the pandemic called Uncle Peckerhead, and it was the weirdest shit ever. And we were like, who made this? And so we reached out to the filmmaker, Matthew John Lawrence, on Twitter. We were like, this is awesome. Do you have anything else? And he sent us a pile of scripts. And this script, Bloody Axe Wound, about a young girl wanting to take over the family slasher business and falling in love with her final girl really captured our attention. And it felt like the perfect marriage of my husband's experience in the horror genre and my experience in the teen drama genre. And so then we got to cast all these fabulous people, including Molly.
Yeah, I was sent the script. I just finished filming some episodes of another TV show called Evil. So I just really this genre is I never really knew that's where I was going, but that's what's happened, and I love it. But I was sent the script, and then I met with Matt, and we had a great conversation about I write and direct as well. And so I think that he liked that about me. And then I got the offer, and it was amazing. I loved the script. The concept of it I thought was so clever and cool and not really like anything that I had ever read or seen before. The closest I could compare it to is Cabin in the Woods. And if you're making that comparison, I think you're in a pretty cool family. And so I was really taken by it. And then I watched Uncle Peckerhead as well, and I laughed out loud. And I really enjoyed my time making this film.
Why don't you talk a bit about your character, Molly? What is she all about, and her part in this movie?
Yeah, Sam Crane is, your classic rebellious girl. She ends up being the final girl in this film. And I think that what I like about Sam is that she is tough, she is cool, she is fearless. But I think the best part about Sam is when you kind of peel back some of those layers and you see that she's actually quite affected by all of the death that's happening around her. And she isn't as tough about it as maybe everybody else is. And she points out how everybody's walking around like nothing matters and they just accepted that this is the reality they live in. And Hillary's been talking a little bit about how that really touches on our world today. Like everybody talks about all of these things happening around us, but no one seems to be doing anything.
The final girl has always been like pretty much a staple with like a lot of horror films. Uh, can you talk a bit? This is towards both of you of like what how would you define like the final girl like with in the horror genre,
I
based
mean,
on working this film.
yeah, the horror girl's an obsession,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whether you're obsessed with killing her or you're obsessed with capturing her or you're obsessed with owning her in some capacity. And so the idea that our brand new killer, this character of Abby, who's taking over the family slasher business, is also obsessed with her final girl in a very different way. I think it's a feminist element where I, I can be obsessed with you. I don't need to own you. I don't need to murder you. I don't need to like steal your skin and wear it. It's a very different perspective that a woman killer comes at than a man killer. So there's subtle undertones there, but yeah, I think obsession is kind of the crux of the final girl, and Sam is absolutely worthy of obsession. She's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like I feel like generally the final girl is someone who, in some of like the stereotypical, it's like the virginal, the pure, and I think it's really cool that ours is not. And for me, it's when I watch the film, I'm watching myself, and I'm like, well, I mean, I don't know. That's me up there. So I don't know if I would be obsessed with her, but it's I think she's a very cool take to me on the final girl, at least as written and hopefully as performed. But I really enjoy the way that we take the form and we twist it. And then we keep twisting it. And I love the growth for Sam, but I really love the growth for Abby. You really see the struggle that she starts to have with the family business and with her father. I mean, what a way to look at father-daughter dynamics.
So this is actually your first time producing a horror film, Hillary, with you and with your husband as well. What was that experience like, being able to, do a feature film like for the first time with your production company?
Yeah, I mean, we've worked separately producing for at least 10 years now. I was working in one genre, he's been working in another. And so it was honestly doing Friday Night In with the Morgans, which was an AMC show that we did during the pandemic together, that we shot from our garage. Like AMC just came and dropped off a satellite in my yard, and we we did these TV shows. And it was working with him in that capacity over like months where when you work with your spouse, that's always a roll of the dice. And we actually really got along. So, in terms of producing this, my husband's a great partner and he loves women. Jeffrey recommends female directors on every job he does. He uses like a female team. He is a girls' guy. And so, working on this with him, he came in and he sat in on some of the audition process and he was there for, when we would scout things, taking everybody to dinner. And he really was such a hands-on part of this, sending off emails when emails needed to be sent. And then he plays this character in the beginning of the film, which is fun because his best friend in the world, Billy Burke, is playing Blade Cut. So the idea that these two guys have been friends since they were 17 and they're both now playing serial killers in this fictional world of Clover Falls, it's fun to produce because you get to pull in all the people you love and all the people that you believe in and are talented. And so it was a great experience.
I think what I like about the film is the relationship between Sam and Abby, being kind of the centerpiece for this film. What was that like? Being able to work together on that movie for you, Molly. Just
Yeah,
the
with
chemistry on
Sarah.
there.
Yeah, with Sari, it was, I mean, she is one of those people that when I first met her, we were lucky. We got to the Hudson Valley a couple days, I think, before everyone else, and we had some time with just each other. And she's one of those people that if I met her in any capacity, if we were working together at a coffee shop, I think that we just have a compatibility that is not always there. I mean, I've worked with so many people that are amazing people, great people, but Sari and I, we're around the same age. We both are creatives as well. We both write and direct our own stuff. And I think that because of that, there was just this kinship immediately where I was like, this girl is a lifelong friend. And I think that I also, to a bigger degree, understood what this role was for her and what this role was for me. She was there every single day on set. She didn't have a single day off. I worked most days that we were filming, but I had plenty of time off. And I think that it was important for me to just know how I could support Sari, which was to be the best scene partner I could be, to always come prepared and not slow her down, because she had a lot that she was juggling. She was in almost every scene of this film. And I think she carried herself so well. I think she really understood the comedy that Abby brings to this film. And I really had such an amazing time working with her.
Want to echo that. Sari is incredible. The ability to handle the comedy and then also the seriousness of this on a shoot that was condensed because we had a impending strike.
Yeah.
Um, that chick is incredible.
She's so good and nonstop she was working, and she's amazing.
A machine. Yeah.
One last question for you guys. What would you want audiences to take away from watching this film? Whether they're fans of horror or just, the slasher genre in general, or just, just audience in general? Like, what would you like to have them take away from this?
I mean, I grew up on movies like Sleepaway Camp, right? Where there was a camp element, and I don't mean literal like summer camp. I mean like camp comedy
Yeah.
where the difference between watching gore porn and something like this, where there is a sense of humor to it, is that we're not celebrating murder. We're not celebrating abuse. We're not celebrating, literally terrorizing young women. But what we are doing is we're making fun of that violence and we're making fun of the misogyny in the genre. And that can make for really gross, fun special effects. And also, sorry, my dogs are going crazy because there's a delivery guy, but it makes for a journey that the viewer can feel themselves. Everybody has watched the news and been like, oh my God, that happened in my town. That's crazy. And then they turn the channel. And so if we can make them think twice about that, cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I really hope that this film finds its audience because I know that they're like it is campy in the best way. This film knows exactly what it is. And I just hope that I mean everything to echo everything Hillary just said, but I also hope that the people who I know love this film find it because it is a really fun one.
Click that mouse and warp into All Ages of Geek's website, your ultimate portal to everything geek culture. Here you'll find articles that speak your language, from the latest anime buzz to the coolest tech trends. Our mission? To celebrate geekdom in all its glory. Whether you're a gamer, a comic enthusiast, a 90s kid, or an anime aficionado, we've got something for you. Dive deep into them with All Ages of Geek.